But I will explain to you guys now my tips, my advice to you guys. And really, it's, I just thought about this, like if I was going to be a parent, I'm going to have kids one day. And I was just thinking, I know they're probably going to smoke weed at one point. I know they're probably going to do drugs at one point. So instead of me telling them, my parents, they told me I was going to hell if I did it. They scared the living crap out of me, and guess what? I ended up doing it. Oh, this seems to be the story. So instead of me going out and saying, hey, you don't do this, it's bad, you're going to hell, I'm fucking shaming you for all this, I'm going to just say, hey, man, if you're going to do it, here's your tips, Premarital sex probably isn't a good idea for a lot of you. Guess what? You're probably going to do it anyways. Let me give you advice. There's so many ways to look at it. It's just all about how you look at it, you guys. Because what I'm trying to tell you, I want to give you guys advice and help you no matter what road you're taking. And hopefully you can take this and say, hey, if you're going to do something, understand the risks and, be smart about it, okay? Everything is, honestly, it's only as dangerous as you are. So, and that's sometimes lack of education. So, give me 1 second, I need water. All right, I'm back. You probably hear the AC now in the back. That loud ass fucking unit. But anyway, so like I was saying, I know you guys are gonna do drugs anyways. I might as well have it where you guys are safe, and that's kind of really the realization I've had. But here's the thing: when we're looking at now trading these assets, I think there's more parallels. It's not doing drugs, but more so dealing drugs. Honestly, I would never sell drugs in my life, okay? Not saying in the past I, haven't flipped a couple sacks back when I would smoke some weed, get a free sack. Maybe I probably shouldn't tell you that, but again, there's some more relatability for you guys, right? You keep it real with y'all, but think about this. And I don't condone that today. Grow up. So this is what I will tell you guys. If you are going to sell drugs, I don't want you to do it. I would never do it. But I'm going to explain to you guys if I was going to go trade penny stocks, if I was going to do Forex, if I was going to do binary options. And this is what I would do. And here's the most funny, ironic part of it all. All these tips are the same exact steps in a sense that you would take if you were trading a normal asset. But now there's just a higher level of caution. Because drug dealing is just like any other business. All it is with an illegal, illicit drug, which carries higher risk. But what comes with the higher risk? You don't have a boss. You don't have to do the same aspects of work. You create your own hours. You get tax-free money. It's almost the same thing, But again, and I don't mean that in a negative connotation to say if you're trading this, you're trading drugs. But understand. Oh wow. Oof, I wish you guys could have heard that. Hopefully you did. It was a good burp. But what I'm saying, this is what I would do. And as you guys see, I ran out of ink while writing all this, and then I found a whole box of markers. So yeah. But here's my advice. Number one, do your due diligence if you're dealing with anything unregulated or sketchy. Okay? So again, it's like if you're selling drugs. You got to understand right off the bat, you're dealing drugs. You want to go find a supplier. You want to go find your plug. You got to be careful. You can't just go talking on the phone to everybody, screaming out in the streets, yo, who got the weed? You can't be doing that. That's one thing, but at the same time, you can't let somebody know, hey, I'm carrying a bunch of cash. I'm walking into your place. I'm a nice young suburban boy. You're going to get robbed. Take a gun. Make sure you're protected. And again, I'm not condoning any of this. I'm giving you guys a metaphorical example here. So think about it. You're not going to be able to, you have to protect yourself, is what I'm trying to tell you. You are dealing with something sketchy. So the minute you know that, the minute you understand it's unregulated, there's going to be a bunch of frauds. There's going to be, stuff that is very, very shaky, and you're engaging with it. You do you. I know you're going to do it anyways, but make sure you're sharp, okay? Don't leave any room for error. Cross your T's. be so critical. Okay? Do your due diligence. Find out everything about that broker. If you're going to go pick up, you think this guy's a plug, he's giving you the best deal in the world, you better know everything about him. Go sit in front of his house or where he hangs out for at least a month. Find out if you're about to go, because guess what? If you fuck around, you'll get killed. It's the same thing here, but with your money, so treat it that way. So I really hope you guys take that seriously, when the fact is, understand it's sketchy. That's it. I'm not saying don't do it, because I don't care what you do, but I do want you to be safe. So do not, don't be so quick to think that this guy you're about to hand your money to is your friend. Don't understand he has a motive, and it's easier for him to rob you and keep what he has as well as your money than to give it to you. So you have to look up everything about it. And guess what? Sometimes you build a good relationship just like any other supply chain. Great, good for you. But make sure you understand that. Do your due diligence. And that's the same thing that applies to this stuff. They call it due diligence. Do real due diligence. Don't take other people's word for it, okay? Don't listen to the guy who's saying, yeah, this guy, I've been with him. Oh, yeah, I read this about him. No, and I'm saying, when I say him, I'm talking brokers, companies, gurus, everything. It's the same concept. Really look into that stuff and be aware, and don't get blinded by your dreams of being a drug dealer, making all that dough. Next, define your risk and utilize tools like stop losses, okay? So now this is what you got to do. You're getting in the game. You're in it. If you're dealing with something where the risk is undefined, you better have a tool to define it. You better make sure you're only putting in a certain amount of money, and making sure that you say, hey, I only want to lose $100. I'm putting it there. I understand it could go against me. And that's where you have to find out, in what instances could your money lose more than you put in. Think of every possible scenario and just be able to address it. So think about it. You're about to go do a deal, and you might get robbed and you might lose more than what you put in. So you know what I would do? I would think of the situation. I'd scout out where I am. I'd sit in a room. I say, okay, I'm going to meet him here. I'm going to meet him in public. Guess what you don't do? Don't invite him to your house. But that's what it's saying. Don't bet it all on the house. Don't put all your money out. Don't think you're safe to put it all out there. You have to keep your eyes open and say, okay, where's my exit plan? If shit goes wrong, where's my gun? Where do I get out? Who do I call? Do I have somebody sitting in the back? You think of all this stuff. And it's funny, man. You guys listen to me now, you'd be like, damn, this guy was an experienced drug dealer at one point. No. But think about it. So use your tools like stop losses and know how they work and understand when they could fail and be able to account for it, okay? So just make sure you're utilizing those tools. It's very easy to get into the mindset, I'll keep an eye on it. Anything could happen. Just make sure you always do it. Do not get caught slipping. Literally, it's funny. Utilize your tools. You guys want to know what a synonym for a tool is? A gun. Do not get caught without your gun. Always pack the heat on you. So make sure your tool is ready to go to protect you at any time you turn your back. Okay? Next, don't be afraid to say no, even if the profits look big. This is something people always fail, even in the bigger markets, man. I'm telling you. People are afraid to say no. It sucks because they want that fast, quick profit, and they want to make all this money, and they see a large gain. Sometimes they're afraid to say no. You hear this guy's willing to give you all the drugs to sell, and he's going to give it to you for half the normal street price. But he's a little sketchy. But not even that, you can't find any information on him. Think about that. You got to be careful. Don't be afraid to say no, because this is what I'll tell you. In the game of drug dealing, think about weed. Again, I sound like an experienced drug dealer. But this is just logic, Think about weed. Are people ever going to stop smoking weed? No way in hell. Doesn't matter what you do. People are always going to want weed, right? So, that being said, chill. That's going to lead to one of my next points with it. But don't be afraid to say no, okay? Even if the profit's big, if you see the risk and you feel a little uneasy about that deal, you don't do it. You walk away, take your time, find something else. And guess what? If you don't have a lot of money to get in, relax. But at the same time, the biggest thing people get tricked on is the profit is what entices them. Otherwise, you would have no reason to do it. Why would you go meet with a sketchy dude who's robbed 10 other people if you were only going to make $100? But now you say, I can make $100,000? Well, yeah. So, but that's what I'm saying. Some of you might take that risk, but here's what you got to realize. Have a sense of logic to be able to say, hey, you know, this is what I'm trying to ask you guys. What is your point where you'll say no? You know, like, where is the line that you draw where you're like, nah, I'm not going to do that? You know, some of you want to be a drug dealer. Let me ask you this. Are you willing to kill somebody? That is a line you're going to have to draw, and you're going to decide it, well, yeah, human life does not matter to me. Or, yeah, I'm not trying to do that. I'm not, you know, or some people say, I'm only going to sell weed. Some people say, I'm about to sell Molly, I'm going to sell fucking Coke. That's on you. Draw your line, but don't be afraid to say no. The opportunity will be there. You guys will be able to find and do whatever you want. Again, you got to be able to say no. A lot of people don't know how to say no in life. And again, it's understanding just to say no. And when you're wrong, again, that's how I started this video. What's taken me far in my life is I know when to say no. And sometimes it may be too late, and sometimes I'll pay the cost. But at the same time, I could realize it. So keep that in mind. Next, diversify your profit types. Okay? A lot of you guys want that quick cash, right? Have some quick cash, but have some slow cash. Okay? I know. Guess what? This goes for any of these, because everybody likes quick money. You want to tell me? Come on, I've had months where I made $100,000 doing practically nothing, you know. But then I've had days where I've been up $250,000 in one day. You don't think I like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys hear what I say? You really don't think I'm into that? I am. I like fast money. Everybody likes fast money. That'd be like me telling you, nah, I'm not into girls. I'm not into boys either. What the fuck are you into then? So think about it. You guys have to realize you could diversify your profits. Get some quick cash in there. If you're going for that quick cash, that's cool. Do it. But make sure you have slow cash somewhere. So if you got quick cash working for you, you're working for quick cash, have some money working for you on the slow side. You know? So you want to sell drugs, you're trying to make that quick cash? Great. When you get that money, instead of putting it under your mattress, maybe go buy a house. You know? Go get it in something slower. And at the same time, diversifying your profits, you got to think about it. You want to go buy something, you want to go put your money in drugs, don't ever put all your money into your asset. And that's funny, that's what I'm saying. You guys, you would think I sound like an experienced drug dealer, but this is just business. You guys are going to go buy inventory for anything, any type of company, right? Don't put all your money in the inventory. Diversify it. Yeah, and guess what? Your risk tolerance, but understand, if I put 90% of my money in, if all else fails, I may not even be able to buy more. So that's what you got to think about. But diversify. If you have quick cash, get some slow cash. If you have slow cash, I'll even tell you, find some ways to get yourself exposed to some quicker money. It goes both ways. Next, this is what I was saying earlier. Be patient. It's not going anywhere. These financial markets, the opportunity, these markets, granted, I have to say, more on the right side, have been making millionaires for hundreds of years now. You know, you guys ever notice people with a lot of money? You know, a lot of the old rich white people in Beverly Hills. You know, believe me, that's where I go. I see them all. You go talk to them. I know a lot of these people. I know a lot of their kids. Guess what? All their parents just put money in the stock market. These are the guys who bought. You know, if you bought $1,000 at McDonald's in '62, you guys want to know how much money you'd have? You bought it '62. You put $1,000. Not only would it be worth $4.2 million today, it would also be paying you $20,000 a month in dividends. So think about it. This stuff isn't going anywhere. The opportunity to make money with these financial markets is not going anywhere. So be patient. But at the same time, relating that to what you guys are doing, you have to understand in your mind it's not going anywhere. Like I told you guys, people aren't just going to stop smoking weed all of a sudden. You know, so if you're selling your weed, guess what? Nobody out of nowhere, people are saying, nah, I don't want to buy it. You have to be smart and be patient enough to also understand that's where you're going to make, you know, it's always going to be there. But then also think on an upper level to make money off it. Sometimes getting your product, getting your weed, getting your t-shirts, getting any item you're selling, sometimes it may not be best to buy it and sell it right away. Sometimes it may be better to sell it when supply is low so you could charge more and make more. So that's why I'm saying, even if you're going to trade these, be patient. It's not going anywhere, and wait for the opportunities where you could take advantage of bubbles, where you could take advantage of droughts per se, and really utilize that to your advantage. Now next, number 6, take advantage of human flaws and understand the social aspect. Isn't that weird to say? It sounds very manipulative, sounds very bad, but at the same time, you got to understand how humans work. Understand self-interest. Understand self-preservation. Understand human behavior and what flaws do people have. So guess what? If you're selling drugs to a fucking crackhead, you got to understand his flaws. You could probably get whatever you want, especially if he really wants it. Don't give out to it. So on every aspect, when you're dealing with this stuff, not only understand that, but understand the next guy. So if you know a bunch of idiots are going to trade this, you're going to do it, take the risk. But make sure you understand that there's enough people playing into a social flaw or a human error for you to be making money. That's where you're going to make your money. See, now you may ask, yo, Josh, so I'm very socially aware, or I'd like to say, but why don't I do that? Is because I'm at this point in my life, it's not worth the risk for me. That's what you guys got to think about. That's what I'm saying. It's like drug dealing. It's not worth the risk for me. I'm sure I'd be a great drug dealer, but not going to do it. It's just not worth it. So that's why, but at the same time, I use this in real estate, options trading, everything. When I buy options, I look for mispriced options. You know, some people have given me shit for that, but I wouldn't expect you to understand. There's always going to be, anytime something is getting priced, there's going to be opportunities for error. Home buying. I look for people, because when people sell their homes, the people selling their homes are the owners. What do they know about finance? A lot of them don't. A lot of people don't understand that. Yeah, it may be bad, because you got to think about it. I bought the TTF house, and I bought this house for $380,000. The people before me bought it in 2013 for $320,000. So they lived in it for 3 years, and they sold it for a $60,000 profit. It appreciated $60,000. I bought it within 4 months. It appreciated $110,000. So think about that. How in the world did I do that? Because these guys were selling their home. They were going through it. They priced it. They just wanted to make their profit, pay off their mortgage, get a little pocket change. They weren't looking at the factors that I look at and I know to look at. So was it wrong for me to do that? Not necessarily. Am I going to say, hey, sir, you're pricing your house. You're making a big mistake, sir. Don't sell it to me for this price. Here's my offer, but you're making a big mistake. Even guess, you want to know what the sad part is? He would still probably sell it to me. Guess what? Think of a crackhead. Hey, man, this isn't a good idea. I wouldn't do that if I were you. It's not good. Guess what? You're like, I don't care. He'll still buy it. You know? And that's where you guys got to understand the human flaw. So if you see a bunch of idiots piling into something, and you see some people making a human error, and you understand a social tide is turning to somewhere, those are going to be your opportunities. It's not every fucking Sunday. It's not fucking football. But find them and take advantage of it. Next, leverage. This is a weird thing to say. I know, and again, I'm sorry parents, I'm sorry young kids. Leverage equals no condom. What does that mean? You know, I encourage you guys all to be safe sex, do eat all that. Leverage is no condom. Meaning, you know, guess what? You're married, you don't use a condom, you know your partner, it's your long-term girlfriend, you know she's clean, you know it's birth control. There's no real risk, but again, there is risk. Again, I'm not, I'll give the financial disclaimer, but I'm gonna give this one too. Do not listen to me on on any of this stuff and don't take this as any sort of sexual relationship advice. But in the sense what I relate it to, sometimes no condom is good, sometimes a condom is bad. So think about it. So actually, excuse me, let me rephrase that. Sometimes no condom is good, sometimes no condom is bad, but now think about it. For the most part, no condom is going to get you in trouble. I don't care whether it's STDs, unwanted pregnancy, whatever it may be, you got to put that into perspective. Yes, there may be benefits. You might think it feels good. You might like it, whatever it may be. But at the same time, understand the risk. That's how it comes to leverage. Because like I said, real estate, stocks, I use leverage. But I don't use it all the time. So what am I saying? I don't use the no condom all the time. So think about that. You guys got to put that into perspective. You have to be very wise and really think about the future and think about what you're doing if you decide to go no condom, aka leverage. So especially, now think about it. The higher the leverage, the higher the risk, the bigger the whore. So think about that. Again, sorry for taking it that route. But last and not least, I really want to close on this and give you guys something to think about. Form your own opinion and don't let people push their views on you. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So think about that. Why I'm saying that, and now you got to think about it, even when I'm telling you guys stuff. Don't let me push my opinions on you. That's why I realize what I've done wrong, because I'm coming back. I'm just going to lay it out for you guys as objectively as possible. I will give you guys information and let you decide. But do not let other people push their opinions on you. This goes down to the communities and what you're seeing. Don't let people say, nah, man, you can never get into stocks. This is the only way. Or, yeah, man, nah, you can make this much money. You can do this. And don't let someone say, oh, yeah, you only way to make money in life is if you invest and get a 401k. Don't listen to people. Don't. And what I'm saying, look at the numbers. Go look at the numbers of successful people, but look at the information and think what's intuitive. It's hard for us to not view ourselves as special. How many people smoke cigarettes and they say, I'm never going to get cancer. I've smoked cigarettes at time and I'll just be like, oh man, it won't affect me, but it doesn't matter who you are. It's the same thing here. So when you see stuff, don't let people push their opinions and you say, oh, well, nobody's done this before. Nobody's ever made millions doing this. I'll be different. That's a very cautious thing. You got to be careful when you say that. But mainly what I'm telling you, don't let people push their opinions. This is where education comes from. Get your education. Be objective. But don't let outside thoughts and views and people in suits, people without suits, people with success, people with failure, don't let them push their opinion on you. Okay? You don't always believe what you hear. You guys need to start to develop. Guess what, you guys? This is part of being a man. So you want to be a man, you got to be able to form your own opinion. What's right and what's wrong. Isn't it funny? We're talking drug dealing. Guess what? Form your own opinion on if it's good or bad. I know what I'm not going to do, because guess what? I've looked at the numbers. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Yeah, there's Pablo Escobar, there's El Chapo, but guess what? That's like me saying I'm going to go to the NBA. I have a better chance of doing that. But then I go look at the amount of millionaires who are doing a lot of the stuff that I do now. That's how I got inspired. And I see people with money. I encounter more people with money and I see what they've done. That is what pushed me in my direction. But guess what? I've done things differently than what my mentors have suggested at times, than what the book, my story is different than anybody you've seen, because I formed my own opinions. And that's why I say, you can't just follow the rigid path of the suit and tie way, but then you also can't just, make your own path based on nothing. Because guess what? How does innovation start? Nobody did what Jeff Bezos did. He came out and he did his own thing. And that's what I'm saying. But don't let people form your opinion. Don't let people tell you you're not going to be successful. Only way is this. Only way is that. That doesn't exist. Okay? You could find your own way. And there's many ways to do it. And that, that's, again, this is why I'm doing this for you guys. Because I want you guys to find your own way. Education is key. Literally. Nobody could take that away from you. The ability to give, for a man to be able to think for himself and do so logically and rationally and understand that and, figure out his own morality, what he thinks is right and wrong and how to profit, how to prosper. That's life, my friends. You guys got to figure that out on your own. But don't let people form your own opinions, because what's going to happen if you get into that view, you're going to fall into a trap sometimes, because you'll follow somebody, you'll follow a view, and then you're not prepared to follow through with it. You're going to get confused, and there's nothing worse than being confused. So this is why I'm telling you guys, be free, okay? Don't let anybody's success, failures, all that, like I said, dictate what you're going to do. But at the same time, don't ignore the facts. See what I'm saying? Like I said, you could go smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. I don't care. But I'm just going to ask you, you know what happens, right? Statistically. And now sometimes the statistics aren't right. I'm one to believe, I don't believe in statistics to a certain degree. I actually use statistics. But then again, that's how I find mispriced options, There's something called the Black-Scholes model. That's what I had some guy give me shit for. He's like, oh, so you think you're smarter than Black-Scholes model? I'm like, nah, not at all. But I do know that there is errors. Not everything statistically is going to happen. I know people who smoked a pack a day their whole fucking life. Nothing happened. But then some people, they got cancer every time they were 30. So think about it. That's just life. Anything could happen. All that put into perspective. But you guys, don't believe the statistics. Understand the statistics. Make your own judgment, and then get your goal and your strategy backed by that now. Use the information in the world to guide you. Because that's what I'm saying. Just don't be ignorant. That's the key. Don't be ignorant and think for yourself. Okay, guys? So, I know this was long. I really thought it was helpful. I had a lot of fun doing it. Like I said, apologies for offending any of y'all in the past. I hope you guys see, I want to do more. If this helped you, let me know. Please, make sure you guys subscribe. And the biggest thing I want to see from you guys is comments. That's the best thing. So if you guys send me an email, best way to contact me, tradingfraternity@gmail.com. If you want a video made, you don't understand something, just comment. Simple as that. Just put your comments there and let me know. That's it. And, I'd appreciate if you guys share it with people, like it. I want to spread a financial literacy awareness, and I know my issues in the past. So to make it better, again, I just want to present more stuff to you guys objectively. So apologies. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love you all. Hopefully this changes some of your guys' lives. Stay in school.